Hello everybody. It is Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes, and today we are going to make this cool interactive slimline card. I just think this is fun. So I came up with this cool design, and I will put the measurements for how we're going to cut this in the information section. But it opens like this. So it's a little peekaboo window. I just put a nice big graphic on the inside, and don't pay attention to my little smudgies. So I just printed this off, and this I'm going to have a whole set of slimline card large graphics that I'll be posting on my site here soon. But I'm gonna show you how to build this, and that's the first part, and then you can open it like a regular card on the inside. So it's got a kind of a two-fold scenario here. Here we go, like one and then two. All right, so how do you build this? And I'll come back to all the stamping. So we're gonna build this from start to finish, and I'm gonna show you all the bits and pieces. So a slimline card, get all the other stuff out of the way, sorry about that, is you take a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. This is the 8.5 side. Sorry, this is the 8.5 side. You cut it down to be 7 inches and you fold it in half. So this card here measures 8.5 by 3.5, and that is a slimline card. I know a bunch of you just got on, so let me show you exactly what we're doing here. So we're going to build this interactive card right here. Whoop, little tab. So you can pull this, and then you can put whatever you want on this little section right here, and then it still opens like a regular slimline card. Fun, fun. Hello, Madrid. Hi, how are you? Okay, now on this particular card, what I did for this section right here, I did it in this tan color, but I'm going to do it in the darker color. So I'm actually going to flip-flop. So in this card, we made like a peach pie, or we made, not peach, sorry, like a cherry pie, or it could be like a red apple pie, whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of a nod to, this could be definitely Valentine's Day, but you could definitely go into just being thankful. And so it kind of is a nod into getting into, for the United States and Canada, into Thanksgiving. So, ooh, who else? We got Germany and Wisconsin. Man, you guys are all super international. I think I see a card I also use a drop for an album. Yeah, so you could reuse this as something you could do, like this cut insert, and you could put this inside of an album. So you'd have like pictures here or something, and then you could have journaling on the inside, or vice versa. Texas, hey, that's where I'm at. Lots of fun people. So I'm going to reverse my colors. I'm actually going to make my window, or the lifting of the flap part, in the darker brown, and then the lighter brown that I used for here, this tan color, is what, oh, Columbia, Missouri, I'm going to do in the tan. And then instead of doing the red, we're going to make a pumpkin pie. So we're going to change it up a little bit. So how do you build this piece right here? So the first thing is that on my card, I'm going to give myself a mat. Okay, so this is my mat, and whenever I go down with my mats, it's going to be going down by 1/4 inch. Okay, so 1/4 inch. This is 8.5 by 3.5. So this is going to be 8.25 by 3.25, and my lifting flap piece is 1/4 inch down on each side. So this is going to be 8 by 3, and I'll put all these measurements in the video after I am done. All right, you do need to have one special tool, a paper trimmer. That's it. That's all you need. I'm going to make sure I get all the way down to the end here so you guys can see. Here we go. Here, let me raise this up so we can get all the way. I've got my extra bits that we're going to be using, but I want you guys to see when I get to here. Here we go. Now I'm on camera. Okay, so this is the part. So we're going to be doing this in this card. I did it in tan. Basically what we're doing is we are building this, which is the same piece, and we're just cutting a partial window, and then we're going to score it. So we're just building this little flat piece that folds up, okay? So you can do this with any size, and I like 1/4 inch. To me, 1/4 inch is a good size for everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up. Here, let me get this out of the way so I don't keep hitting it. And a blade, let me show you the blade on here. This is my Fiskars trimmer. A blade that has a nice point like this is the best thing for this kind of card. A rotary blade is not going to give you a nice ending needle point. Another option that you could do is you could score it and then just cut it with scissors. So that could work as well. So either way works, it just is whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to score first. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a scoring blade, and I use my paper trimmer for all my scoring because it has all the amazing markers, and it already has this little divot right here that I can put a scoring tool in. So I'm going to first come in here and I'm going to run this all the way through, and I'm going to do it at 1/4 inch. And I did it on just one side. Pick a side. It does not matter the side you're doing it in. All right, so now I'm going to flip. We'll start from here. Same 1/4 inch. I just turned it 1/4 inch, and I'm going to drop my blade. Oops, oops, oops. And I'm going to drop my blade at the 1/4 inch mark. So everything's 1/4 inch. Okay. Now this is 8 inches tall. So what I'm going to do, yes, 8 inches. I had to think about that. It's 8 inches tall. So I'm going to go up to 1/4 inch less. So I'm going to go up to 7 3/4. And so I'm going to run this all the way up. And truly, actually, I'm going to cut this one to be a little bit, I'm going to only go to 7.5. And if I feel like I want to go a little bit further, I feel like I need a little bit of extra room on this end. I might go all the way, and guess what? I can come back to that if I look at it and go, oh, that doesn't look quite right. I'm going to flip this over now, and we're going to do the same cut. And since this is already at the exact same marker, I'm going to drop that down, and I'm going to mark and go all the way down to that scoring mark that I made down here, which is at 1/4 inch. Drop it down all the way to 1/4. So now I can come in and take a look and go, you know what, is that going to look good? And now in hindsight, I think I'm going to go all the way to that 1/4 inch mark. I don't like that half. So I'm going to come in, put my blade on the 1/4 inch, and I really should have just done this, and go to my half, flip into the same thing. I should have done it from the very beginning. I did it with the other one. I was like, maybe half would look better. It doesn't. I like the 1/4. And I made a little bit of an oops. So this is where you're going to grab your scissors, and I like a nice precision set of scissors, and we'll do this part in a second. I just misaligned it by a tiny bit, which is why I should have done it to begin with. So now I'm going to go on to, you've got these two cuts. So you've got a cut here and a cut here, and you've got it scored right there. Flip it over here, and we're going to do a cut at the 1/4 inch mark. So line this up at the 1/4 inch. Put your blade at the 1/4 inch. Everything's 1/4 inch, and run this up. Now this is 3 inches tall, so I'm only going to go to 2 3/4. So run this up to 2, or basically you're going to run this up right until you hit this mark right here. And if you're a little bit shy, it's okay, because guess what? You got scissors. So I just didn't quite line that up just perfectly. So I'm going to come in with my scissors and just make sure I finish that little marking there. So I'm a little bit off right here. Boop, and there it is. So I'm a tiny bit off. It's not the most perfect cut, but it's pretty darn close. And that's how you can make a window. So even if you had, and this wasn't a slimline card, but let's say you did it, I'm just going to clean this little bit up right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go, ooh, there we go. It's like you never knew I made a boo-boo there. And then I'm going to clean this little section up. So let's say you had a 4x5 card or whatever, you know, this, whatever the size is that you want to make as your little flap. You do it the same way. Just go down 1/4 inch, score one side at 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, going all the way around, and then you're set to go. And that is how you make that little interactive flap that you would then lift up. So the last part is you just got to do this piece right here. And I'm going to fold here. So this is a little pocket that we've made. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to fold it the other direction just to make sure that this is a nice hinging point right here. And there it is. And so now this is our little flap that we're going to do. And once this gets secured down onto the card, the flap is going to lift much easier because this is all secured. And so it's not the only piece that's moving is this piece right here. And that's the only part that moves around. Ta-da! Isn't that easy? So it's a little bit of some measuring and a little bit of just using your paper trimmer, but you don't need any fancy eyes. You don't need any fancy anything just to build that piece. Now, I want to add my sentiment. And what I did is I cut my sentiment to pretty much be the same size. I did a little bit smaller, the same size as this insert. So it's a 3x8 for this particular one. So I just printed this on my computer. I love the nice big giant give thanks. And I think I might scooch this over so it's a little bit more centered. So I'll place this down a little bit better. And I did trim the top and the bottom, or I trimmed the sides, one of the two. If you notice, I didn't center that the greatest. I didn't cut my best. I should have gone a little bit more over. I had another one actually. Maybe this one will work better. I printed 3. Nah, I did the same thing. Look, it's just over. It's all good. The other thing about this is that because the give thanks, because this is here, and it's not purely centered, Keep in mind, this is going to be in this hinging point. So it's kind of nice. It's not too close to the edge. So it works. All right. So how do you build this? I dropped something on the floor. I'll get back to it. First thing you're going to do is you put your background on. And because we're going to make a pumpkin pie this time, I'm going to do mine in orange. And so you're going to lay this down. I did not line that up very well. Oh, some papers pull off so much easier. I did not. Oh, and there's a big gummy there. Get rid of that. Do you guys rip stuff off your cards? I didn't line that up the best, and I was going to be very short on one side. I like having mine, because this is a very symmetrical type of card. I was going to be really like off on this side. All right, the next thing is I'm going to line this up, and I'm going to center this on here. So go ahead and place this on here like that. All right, ta-da, ta-da. Oops. See, now I got to go side to side and make sure that lines up. I don't want to push that down too far because I want to make sure that this looks good here, because this is going to cover up the white. Now you could stamp that. You could have a whole nother set of images inside of here. I just like the sentiment on the inside. I thought that looked kind of cool. And on the front, we have another sentiment that we're going to add, which is a smaller sentiment. Now on this card, there's two different ways to do it, and I'm going to show you how I did this one, but you don't have to do this part. I decided I wanted this part to be popped up. So there's actually some foam in here, but if you wanted to lay this flat and have a flush card, it would work as well. You don't need to do that. And you could still do my little trick right here with a little pull tab. It just depends. So if you wanted a flat card, all you would now do is just add your adhesive on the perimeter. That's it. Just the perimeter. Don't add it to the inside because you don't want that. You don't want this part sticking. You just want the outside bits right here. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. And I want it's got a texture to it on one side. I just pulled out cardstocks. I just did all I did was cardstocks and some Bow Bunny double dots papers that I happen to have. I was really hoping I could find the double dots in my pumpkin color, but I didn't have it. Oh, well. So I have just a foam dots. I like this roll because it's going to make my life easy as I'm putting it down. And the width was perfect because this is 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to run my foam adhesive going all the way down to there and then cut. So this is just a fun card that anybody can use. This is what I would call a special card. I mean, there's some times where I'm like, I just want to mass produce cards and I don't want to get super fancy on them. I think, for certain people, I know that appreciate cards. I love to give them something just a little bit more. I guess the best way to describe it. My mother is one of them. I've made projects ever since I was a little girl, whatever it is. She's kept everything. All the cards I've given her, all the handmade stuff I've given her, you name it, she has kept it. When you're putting this on, just to be very, very careful to line this up just perfectly, because you don't want to see the foam coming to the other side, and I overshot that. Ew. I got this roll on Amazon long time ago. It was a dual roll, and there was two. It was giant. It was like this big to begin with, and I needed it for a project for Creativation, of which, for those of you who are interested, Creativation, which is the old the CHA, which is our big trade show that we do for all the different manufacturers. And I usually go and demo and I teach classes at the trade show. And I do a whole bunch of live video at the trade show. It has just been announced that trade show is going to be virtual. And so I don't know exactly what my role is. I'm on the designer board for the designers. So there's different memberships you can have with AFCI, which is the organization that runs Creativation. And I am on the designer board. And so we're kind of trying to figure out how to come up with different solutions to how to make this all virtual. And we're not sure if this is just for people at the trade show, because we're not going to be having people videoing like me anymore. I used to walk around and get as much video content as possible. And I can't do that now because there's no floor to walk around and video. So I'm trying to figure out how in the world am I going to do this, and are they going to open it to the public this year so you guys can see what's going on? They haven't announced it. By October, they're going to have kind of a better announcement about how the virtual event is going to run. So I'm just peeling off the sticky back to my foam right here. So keep peeling it off. There we go. And then make sure you put your hinge on the correct side. So you could do the hinge going whatever, any way you want, but I want my hinge to open so it opens like this, because this has got the bigger amount of white space than here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to line this up over here. So if your white paper is the same size as, I really should do it this way because I can see better. If your white paper is the same size, then you just basically put it on top of the white paper and then it should line up perfectly. Ah, it's sticking. Hopefully I did this correctly. I'm not gonna, oh, I'm a little too far. Shoot, I was afraid of that. My white paper was a little bit too short, so I gotta go a little further back. I did it perfectly on the other one. I was afraid I was gonna do this while I was live. It's okay, we all make boo-boos, right? I'm just backing it up a tiny bit to have it centered because it looks so much better when the hold card is centered. There we go. There, that looks better. There, and so that is now my card. And then it just opens up. Give thanks. Ta-da! So same concept, except I just switched the colors. So you can take all your fun cardstocks that you have and just change it up and have some fun. Right there, look at that, isn't that cool? All right, so now it's time to build what's in the front. Time to make some little pumpkins, or little heart pumpkin pies. So this is from a set called Hey Pumpkin. I thought it was just the cutest thing ever. It's from Maker's Movement. Links are all down below for everything that we're using. It's all down below. So I am going to, where is my colors? I think I dropped them on the floor. Oh, I do want to show you one more thing, but I have to die cut it first. Sorry. Piece of paper fell on the floor. So I got to die cut out the little heart. So I'm going to show you how to put this piece on, because that's this piece that we're going to do. And then, but I got to die cut all the rest of it as well. And I wanted to show you how to die cut it because it's kind of cool about how you build this. So we're going to die cut the little heart and also the parts to our pies. So I can run it all at the same time. So my heart, let me get all my pieces here. Oh, and we're going to need the brad. So the brad's going to be very, very useful. So I'm going to start out with my papers here. Here we go. Make sure I'm not using something I shouldn't have. I had all my pieces cut out. So what I need is I need to cut out a heart, 2 hearts right here that are the inside, and that's this piece. This piece is going to be the tan part that goes on top. I also need to cut 1 little heart. So that's what that one's going to be for. And I do need to cut 1 of these so I can get, no, I don't need to cut that one at all, actually. I'm wrong. Yeah, no, we're good. So all I need is this. I had to think about that. Sorry, the puppy's moving. Puppy's on the move. Brandon, can you come get the puppy? Thank you. Okay, so cut this, and I'm going to show you how to build a tab. There we go. Run that through. I love this little die cut machine. It's so easy to work with. All right, so, and I put everything on my magnetic plate when I'm done so I don't lose it. Now, the set comes with this, and this. This little heart was an extra, but I found that this heart was just a little too small for my pull tab, so I just snagged a little heart from another set. Okay, so we have all, oops, where's the other, where'd it go? Oh no, where'd it go? Is it stuck on something? Okay, where'd it go? Seriously, there was another, oh, it's still attached to here. I'm like, where did it go? It's right here. It's still embedded. Okay, so how do we attach the little hearts? And I just figured since I had to die cut all that, I would do it all at once. I love that machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back of my heart. So, oh, bye-bye, night shift. You're so welcome. Well, this will be all coming very, very well. You get to watch the replay. It'll stay live. But thank you guys so much for watching. We got lots of amazing people on. Love it. All right, so we got our little heart right here, and we're going to place that right there. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some adhesive and some scratch paper. So I'm just going to take the back side of this, add some adhesive. There's stuff stuck to the back of that. Okay. And I'm just getting it enough to stick it on here. Here we go. And I don't need to make it too big, just enough so I have my little flap sticking over. So what I want to do is I'm going to put this right exactly in the center because I like it centered. I like the look of that. And then make sure it all lines right up. So just center it right on there. And you don't need that much of a flap. It's just enough so that it doesn't like sink in. And of course, I keep messing with it. There we go. All right, now we're going to take a punch, and this is my old Crocodile, and it's got a really nice thin punch to it. And I'm just going to go ahead and punch. So I'm going to open up my card. Sorry, the puppy managed to make his way back. He was all snoozing. And I'm going to add a hole right between the two layers. So it's right at the tip of the heart, somewhere in that heart. And so if I already have it stuck together, it makes life easy. A hole punch would work, really just kind of whatever kind of punch you have. And then put a brad in there. I found that if I just did the adhesive, because I was pulling up on it so much, it just didn't have enough oomph. So I thought, you know what? You know how much stuff I have? I have a brad. And the brad adds this really kind of cute element to here. So it's just kind of a fun little something that I have a ton of them. Seriously, I have a ton of them. So I might as well use up the sucker since I have them. So I went ahead and punched a hole, stuck the brad through there. Now, the last thing that was bothering me is see how this kind of sinks in? Well, this one doesn't. I had a little trick. I was like, oh, I have adhesive. So I'm just going to take a small little section of the same adhesive. It's the inside of the card. Nobody's really going to ever look at it. Truthfully, did you even notice that this was there? And all we're going to do on the inside of the card right here, we're going to put a little more of that foam right there, because you want this to be the exact same height, but do not take off that backing. Just stick this piece and put it right over top. Now, if you wanted to get decorative and you wanted to put, you just need something. So if you wanted to put another heart on the back of this that you popped up, so you could put foam and then another punched heart, or you could just leave it. You can get a little creative with what you stick on the back of there. So I could just do a pop circle, but careful not to go into this little heart piece because that's going to rest right there. And then now, look, it doesn't indent in. It kind of stops it from sinking in. So between the heart that's there, the brad making sure the heart doesn't pop off, and then your little bit of foam, it makes your whole hinging point so much easier. So just as a heads up, I kept running. I'm like, it's just not sitting the way I want it to. Now, if you are going to do without the foam going all the way around and you just skip that section altogether, all you would need to do is just the heart, but don't worry about the foam on the back because you're not raising your card at all. It would work either way. If you want to have it raised to give your card a little bit of something extra, totally cool, but you don't have to raise it if you don't want to. All right, so now it's time to build our little heart pies. So I already have a couple pieces set to go, and we just did these ones. I only need to die cut out the couple other ones. So we're going to die cut out this, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to cut out the little one of them. We're going to cut out a pie wedge, so it looks like it's a pie. It's really cute. So this is just a little bit different. So I'm going to show you how to do this as well. So we need to have a couple of different sets. So I went ahead and cut out a whole bunch of papers that are the right sizes here. And I need to cut out, and this is that tan color. So I'm changing up. This is a very well done pie. This is going to be more of a realistic pie color. So I need to have two of the same that we die cut out before, which is the outside heart. And we are going to be using the other pieces of the hearts. That's the best part. We're going to come back and be using those. And then go ahead and run this through. So you need two. And this, if you're only going to make one pie, you only need to have 1 and 1. But since we're going to be making 2 pies, and then we're going to use the leftovers, because why not? I think that we need to use the leftovers. Use up all of our bits and pieces. And these sections here, oops, I'm sticking it back. These sections here were left over because when I cut out this section, there was a portion of the 12 by 12 paper that was left over, and that's what I used for this. So I'm really kind of using all of the little bits and pieces from all my papers. And then I just cut a little bit more because I had another pie to make. So now I've got all my elements. Come off. Oh, this one didn't want to cut. Oh, no, it did. Oh, no, this one's being stubborn. Okay, there's a layer on top. No, it's coming. There it goes. It's like, it's not, it's going to cut through. It's just being weird. And there are 2 layers in here. There we go. So there's actually 2. Wait, did I only cut that on one? Where'd it go? Oh, it's in here. Like, where'd the other one go? I was all worried there for a minute. Like, it couldn't have just disappeared. Put them on here so I don't lose them. I don't know how many times I've done that. Place all my little pieces over here. Now it's pie making time. All right. If you want to, this would be really cool confetti pieces for the inside of shaker cards if you ever wanted to use them, because they're like perfect little squares. It'd be kind of fun if you wanted to keep that. All right. I got to pop all these little squares out now. Pop out. Oh, this one didn't work. This one didn't really cut very well. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a little bit, no, it's coming. It's just being stubborn. I might do a separate cut because that's just being, see, look, some of these just didn't cut through. So I'll have to cut another extra for that. But let me show you how to build one first. So you want to have the back of your pie be the color of your pie. And then you're going to place the lattice work on top, just like that. And then you're going to want to place, so when you cut this out, you get 2 elements. And then you're going to place this. So we're going to save this later because we're going to use this for the second portion. And the inside of our card, we're going to place the extra pieces on the inside. So that's kind of fun. So get all these out of the way. And my sticker maker is my best friend for this because these are such small, intricate pieces. The first step is we're going to go through and we're going to cut this right here. Oh, I should have done both. I'm so silly. Do the next one. I'm so silly. And then I'm also going to be using this piece later on, so I might as well run it through. And for little finicky pieces like this, I just think it's so much easier. Oh, I didn't mean to do orange. No, I meant to do orange. I'm going to use another orange. So the first orange that I did is this part piece right here. And I'm going to end up using the other one. For this one, the brown was too dark for me to stamp on, but I really do feel that this tan is going to be a light enough color to do our stamp for the sentiment on the front card. And then the other one is going to be, we're going to build it this way, but picture this orange. So I'm going to end up using both of the outside pieces and the piece. So I might as well run them all through while I got it. You know, if I'm smart, I would do it this way. Save some space. This is me thinking ahead. I'm going to be smart and line these up so I don't waste my sticker maker. Because you guys have asked sticky to be on the back. Now there it is. Now it's all sticky on the back. Okay. So all the stickies on the back. Place this on top of your little heart. Right there like that. There it is. There's our little heart. Cute. And then we are going to put the top part of our card on. Ah, come on, done. Oh, I need to rub this. I see, I almost did it again. So make sure you rub these really well. Now we're going to have a section of this where it's not going to be super sticky. So we'll just have to add a little bit of help to that one because I didn't realize how low I was running on that. There we go. So just pull this off. Ta-da. And you can tell it was at the end because it's just lost its sticky. And then pull this off right here. There we go. And then place this on. Now because this was the heart that was cut, the little bit of extra you get from the lattice is what this sticks to. And then just place this kind of on. And it's very, very loosely fit around here. It's not 100% layered. It's just very lightly layered. And I didn't apply sticky to this yet, and you'll see why. Because we're going to be die cutting one of these again. So just lightly place this on here. So just fits. And you can kind of finagle it a little bit. There you go. And that's how you build the pie. Isn't that cute? I just think that's so cute. It's a little fun little pie. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to cut out the wedge from this. So in the die set, you get this cute little wedge. So picture it just like a pie wedge. So we're going to place this right here, just like that, and go all the way to the edge. A little bit of washi tape is your friend on this. Get that out of the way. And so since I got to die cut this anyway, we're also going to die cut out another one of our lattices in the tan. And I have my tan paper somewhere. There it is. I always keep whatever I'm working on right nearby just in case. Just in case. So now I've got my little wedge right there. That's my little piece right there. And I'm going to come in with my die cuts again, place my little pie on there. And then since I need to die cut out, actually I really don't need that giant sheet of paper. There we go. And one more pie, the latticey part of the pie. And then run this through. So there's a little bit of finagling. Now I'm going to leave one where it's whole, the pie is whole, and one where I've lost or taken out a section of the pie. There we go. So much better. I guess just because it was so intricate, it was just so hard to kind of pop out and then just get all these little guys out of here. I tried to do two at the same time and either wasn't enough pressure, I'm not sure, but there we go, all fixed. Get this out of here. Place this back on my magnetic sheet, which I have just off camera. Get rid of the trash. You should see my floor when I'm done videoing because I just kind of throw things down. It's kind of crazy below me, let me tell you. All right, so now very carefully peel up your washi tape that has that little pie cut on there. And think about all the fun colors of pies that you could make. There it is. Oh, and I didn't quite line that up correctly, so I'm a little bit shy. I'll use these scissors. So I'm just going to come in and finish that snip. And then I'll just reattach. Ooh, my scissors have sticky on them. I need to clean them. They're like all sticky. So there it is. And then here is my little pie wedge. Put that back on my magnetic sheet again too. So funniest thing, I read this today and it said, you know, we always talk about name an interesting fact about yourself. And somebody said, no, name the most boring fact about yourself. So boring fact about myself. Hello, B&D Crafts and More. Laurie, Danielle. We got lots of people on. Kathy, Joan. So many people on. Mariel. Hello, hello, everybody who's here. So boring fact about yourself. What's something that you guys can say? And I'm just going to use adhesive for this because I ran out of my tape, my sticker maker. So I'm going to show you if you don't have a sticker maker, how can you do it? You're going to end up having a little bit of adhesive. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. So just take your lattice one, and this works really good with this particular tape runner because it's a dot tape runner. It's not a long strand. So it's only going to stick to, and I'm running out of this one too. It's only going to stick to the parts that actually have something on it. So it's not going to stick to the holes. So as you lift this off, all the parts that had holes, it's all gone through, and this just has adhesive where you want it. So I'll place this on here now. So boring thing. What's a boring thing about me? I like to play Candy Crush before I go to bed. It's my winding down. So I'll spend, like I'm in bed, I'm on my phone, and I'll spend 20 minutes or so. And I don't buy games. I play them just enough. Sorry, I had to line this up just perfectly. I tend to line up the top and the bottom, and then I'll just let the sides kind of fit in. Here we go. So I'll wait until I have, there, that one worked out really well. That one looks nice. Like, because you have to buy extra lives. I never purchase anything. I'm so cheap when it comes to that. I hate buying things when it comes to games. I'm just like, nope, not doing it. Not buying money on my games. So what's a boring fact about you guys? I think that's just kind of a fun question. So on the stamp set that comes with this, and I did the other stamp right here. You are such a big piece of my heart. There's, hey, pumpkin, you want a piece of me. Happy Eat a Ton of Pie Day. So I think this would be a super cute card also for National Pie Day, which is a 3.14. So March 14th for those, the mathematical pi number. But this, I think this particular card set, stamp and die set works really well for obviously Halloween or Thanksgiving. So I'm going to do Hey Pumpkin since I have a pumpkin pie, but you could do this for obviously because it's hearts. This could work for Valentine's Day. It's just fun. All right. So I did the Hey Pumpkin on this one, but because I did I guess it'd be a cherry pie, or you could kind of consider it apple pie, whatever you want. Now it's time to start building. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our first pumpkin. It's going to go here, and I don't want to put them down yet because I want to make sure I have everything is centered correctly. So the parts that, and I like the way I made it on this card where I have the one that's coming out, because otherwise it would get squishy. And I could have done it where the piece was coming out on this side. I just chose that I liked it on the right side better. I don't know why. So I'm going to line all these up just right here. And then this piece is going to go in the center. I did do as a white one on this one, and I kind of liked it because I also had white when I opened it up. So I felt like it tied it in, and it's got a white background card. But this one, because it was light enough and I already had cut the heart, it's like, done. And so I think that actually works really well. Boys, can you please come get the dog and take him outside?
It's all wet outside. It's still raining.
Then please be careful with the dog because he keeps trying to bump into my camera. Thank you very much. All right, so I like the orientation of that. And what I'm going to do is I don't want to move them around too much. So I'm going to take one pumpkin, add adhesive. Oh, this is getting so low. I hope I don't run out. I can tell because it's getting harder and harder to move. There's a little bit left. And then lift up and then place my pumpkin. And this is how I line things up. So if I have them like lined up a very certain direction, I'll also use my grid here. So, I can do that. So look, this is all 1 inch and this is 8.5 inches. So I'm just going to center it. So I have 1/4 inch on each side. So this pumpkin's going to line up right here on this line. So this pumpkin is going to line up on, oops, got to get recentered here. Use my markings to my advantage on this line. So right here. So now I know I'm evenly matched. There we go. Be a little titch inside of that. Pick this guy up so it doesn't stick to that. Add my little pumpkin here, my little pie wedge. There we go. And that little piece is going to stick back on as soon as I stick it to there. And add that there. And I do have my little dollop of frosting, which comes with it as well. And I love it because it looks like you could actually excuse me, I just did a little burp. It comes like a little 3D. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to this now too. Oops, I got more of it on my table than I did on the thing. It's okay. So it's got a little dollop of whipped cream. And then I'm going to add my Hey Pumpkin. And that's going to go right here. And because I had to cut out the inside, I have the outside left of the orange. So we're just going to like use the opposite colors here. So then this can go right here. It goes just around it. So it's like a little frame border. So these are all the pieces that we weren't using. And I thought, wow, why can't I use that for like the sentiment on the inside instead of just, cutting out a square or something? I'm like, I already have the hearts. That made so much more sense. And then there that is. That's the front of the card. Isn't that adorable? I think it's fun. And so now you've got this little piece that lifts up right here. And then, so now on the inside, I still have, because I just ran them through, I still have one of the tan pieces and I have one more. And I thought, well, that would just look really cute on the inside. So let me put that in the center of the inside right here, just like that. And again, I'm going to line this up so it makes sense. So I can line this up perfectly. See, I was off. So what I do is I use this marker right here. My camera's a little bit on an angle, but you can see the line. So each one of these squares is 1 inch and my card's 8.5 inches. So if I put 1/4 inch on either side, I go right smack in the middle, and then I line up the bottom of my heart. I know I'm right in the middle when it comes to putting it on. And that's how I know I made it like super in the middle. And then pull off this here and then just line this up around it and go all the way around. And you could stamp another sentiment on the inside of the heart. I just thought leaving it plain as a little something, kind of a fun little peekaboo, as another secondary peekaboo would look really cute, because I put the larger sentiment right here. So this is a fun way when you have an interactive card. You're like, well, where do you write? And sometimes I make these fun fold cards that there's just not a whole lot of space except for the back of the card. This gives you a ton of space to write right here. Now the last step, and I think it adds a little something on the edge of this, because I just thought this looked so plain. I added this kind of cool gold trim to the edge of it. So where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. I have this cool stuff. These are like these little peelies, these sticky peelies. I think these are so pretty. And there's 2 types. And I'm going to see if you guys can see the difference. One, it looks like the bubbles. So it looks like little round circles. And on the other side, it's the reverse. So it's the it's more like jagged edges, more like diamonds. So I thought, well, I'll play with that. I'll use the one side this way and one side the other way. So I thought I'd reverse it. I thought I'll use the bubbles going down the length of it. And this time, at first, what I did, I went all the way to the edges, and I thought, you know what? I actually kind of like it when it just runs like an extra perimeter. So it just gives a little something extra. And then those scissors have gunky on them. I got to clean them. And then just snip, and you got a little extra left over. I don't bother keeping that. This is a little bit left over from the previous card. Whatever. I might throw that back on here. I'm going to grab the bubbly end again. And these little peely things last forever. I get this from a company. They're actually made in Europe. They're huge in Europe, these little peely things. And so there's a company that brings over European products, and it's called European Paper Crafts. And they're based here in the States, or based in the States. I say here in the States because that's where I live right now. And she has them for amazing prices because she'll bulk order and things come in. And she's had a little bit of a hiatus because orders haven't been coming in as regularly as they previously had, but they're still there. So that's good. All right, now I'm going to take the opposite. So this is, instead of wasting it, you can use the opposite pieces as well. And I'm going to go and just do the across right there. And I just think it adds a really pretty border, especially when you go all the way around. It's a little something. Otherwise, I thought the card looked just a tiny bit plain around the edges. I love the inside of it. I was like, but there's got to be a way to kind of like make it a little bit more. And I was like, oh, I have these. And I have them in silver. I have them in gold. I have them in, I have red, black, all kinds of colors. All kinds of colors. So I know I went a little bit later in starting my live. Previously, I had been going at noon. And the reason why I had noon for my card making days was because my kids were at school, like they were physically at school. School is now home, and during the day, I have the hardest time trying to juggle helping them with their work and doing everything, and then trying to fit a live in the middle of everything. So my lives are going to be starting closer to the 3:30 clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock mark. It really is going to kind of depend on how the school day is run. I will still do them Wednesdays, but I will be shifting them back a little bit later in the day now, just because we have school. So for all future lives that I'm going to be doing, if it's recorded, it'll still probably go up at noon. But for lives, I'm going to have to push them a little bit later. So between 3 and 4. And I can't tell you an exact time. I wish I could every single day, just because schoolwork can be a little bit crazy. But that's where we're at right now. We're all living in a world of crazy. So I hope you guys enjoy. Again, I will put the measurements for how to do this cutout, this lift the flap interactive card. All you need is your paper trimmer. If you missed how to make this, it's the beginning of the video. So as soon as this is done going live, you can go back and rewatch the beginning. And I showed you how to cut that and build it, and kind of where I went step by step through that. Please give this video a thumbs up. I would absolutely love that. I really, truly appreciate you stopping by. Links for all the stuff. Yeah, I can't talk today. Links for the supplies I used are all down in the information section. And I hope you guys enjoyed this fun card with our little pies on them. I just think they're cute. Look at that. Oh, thank you so much for giving me a thumbs up. I truly appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Have an amazing day. Stay safe. And I will see you guys again. Tomorrow is our live Kids Craft video. Again, we'll be doing it after school about the 3 o'clock time, just because it works better with everybody's in my house's schedule. So come back tomorrow for a Kids Craft video. Bye, everybody.